Easy guys, how's it going? Oh my god, such a good episode. So we get to finally see Gohan and Goku fight, and I mean properly. So this is episode 90, See the War That Must Be Passed, Goku versus Gohan. And this episode just didn't mess around, went straight in. We get to find out exactly what Piccolo and Gohan have been up to. So they finish their training, and they go and find Goku, and who's hanging out with like Tien and Master Roshi and all that. And he just like straight through the door. He's like eyes on him, and he's like, "Look, I want to fight you, and I want to fight you now." There are a lot of like memes going around as soon as the episode aired, like when like about like stepdads and dads, and there's a lot of like banter there. But you can tell that like Piccolo has absolute faith in Gohan, and Gohan is following through with it, which bit of a side thing, but I just think it's really cool. So they end up on like this giant mesa. I guess it's a giant mesa. Yeah, and they set up the rules. You've got Tien and Goku versus Piccolo and Gohan, and I'll be honest, seems a little unfair, but that's just how they done it. Master Roshi, Chaozu, and who else was there? I can't remember. There's one or two other characters that are a little bit further back and watching it from the distance. But straight away, as soon as the fight starts, they are not messing around. Like giant like craters like that you would only generally see during like major like end of arc fights, and they're just like absolutely destroying it. Gohan goes straight for Goku, whilst Piccolo seems to be like charging up some kind of technique, and Tien doesn't really know what to make of it. He's like, this seems to be like too serious, and Tien seems almost uncomfortable with the amount of aggression that's being thrown around. Goku's just hyped, and they go straight in. They both go in at base form, and I really just think this is just to drag out the episode. Obviously, for Gohan, there's a different reason, which you'll find out a little bit later. But, like, for Goku, he could have gone Super Saiyan Blue, fucking Kaioken. Like, God knows what else he's got up his sleeve. But it's just base form. And they're going at each other, like, hard. And Tien just kind of, like, is a little bit, like, looking around. And the event he tries to go for like Piccolo, but out of nowhere, Gohan's just like there. He's just like there, teleports him, and he just gut punches him so hard. It's just hilarious. I'm like, Tien is always the punching bag. Like, okay, if they're gonna do anything with Tournament of Power, give him one scene where he's not like stepped on, please. Just one. Let's see him do something cool. Stomped on in the previous episode, stumped on this episode. He hasn't been cool since the Cell Saga. They really need to fix that. So whilst he's out for the count, Piccolo is just like glowing. He's just like a complete golden aura around him. And that's just kind of all he's doing. Goku and Gohan are just going to town on each other. And it doesn't really look like one's got the advantage over the other. Although, if I was honest, I'd say I think it's Gohan. But really, it looks kind of fairly even. Then Gohan like powers up like to crazy levels and starts going to town on Goku, who at this point looks like he's just messing around, whereas Gohan is not messing around. Like, he's here to do business, and he's here to like fuck shit up. At this point, Tien kind of is just about to get like recovered from his like ridiculous gut punch, and he tries to use his infamous Tri-Beam or a Kikoho? I don't know, I butcher that name every time. And he goes to aim at Gohan and completely ignore Piccolo, which seems like the stupid move. Goku is clearly not taking the fight seriously because he's like, stop it, don't bother, I just don't. I mean, Tien is a martial arts master, and yet you ignore one half of the fight. Like, what are you doing, Tien? Like, not helping yourself here. So he goes to aim at Piccolo, and this is one of like two things that threw me off guard, is the technique that Gohan used. Now, I've put it as my thumbnail for the picture, and obviously if you've watched the episode, you know what I mean. But tell me that didn't look like Gogeta's like very similar to Gogeta's like fairy dust technique. Changed, inverted the colors, was a small blast from his hand, although it was like more from his fingertip than his hand. I got like Gogeta vibes. Maybe I'm looking into something, and maybe I'm seeing something that isn't there. And of course, if you disagree or you think it looks like some other technique, please leave a comment down below, because I'm really interested to know what the hell that technique was. Yeah? And he uses that to block the Tri-Beam. And then at this moment, we get Vegeta's famous move. We get Final Explosion. I mean, there's two techniques that aren't really that relevant to the particular characters that we saw in one episode, which I was like, what? I mean, it was cool, don't get me wrong, but I was really surprised to see that. I don't remember Piccolo ever using that technique ever. And he was there when Vegeta used it way back, but like from a distance. So maybe he saw the advantage of it, because obviously it was an outward explosion. So what I'm trying to explain is he used the final explosion that Vegeta used against Majin Buu, and obviously it failed. But he used this in a strategic way to push his enemies back. And it almost succeeded. So Goku gets pushed off, but obviously he body blocks because Goku is Goku. And Tien is literally clinging to the side of the Mesa. So it was almost a very successful combo. Piccolo and Gohan, clearly a much better team than Tien and Goku. But let's be honest, Goku is nobody's team. At this point, we get a little cutaway, and it cuts away to some of the characters from Universe 10, specifically Gowasu, who honestly I couldn't give a shit about at this point. They've really not made much of an effort to really involve these characters, and really it was just him whining about the fact that he didn't know what to do in regards to the previous arc with Zamasu, or Zamasu, whatever. I'm like, I don't give a shit. And then they do some weird buffly men that drink protein shakes. I'm like, I have no idea what the fuck was the point of this scene. Show us something important. Maybe it's going to be, maybe it's foreshadowing for later down the line, but I couldn't tell what the fuck it was about. I think then cuts back to the Goku, Gohan, Tien, and Piccolo. And at this point, Tien is just like, no, this is going too far. This is too much. It needs to be stopped, and stopped it. And Goku goes to shake Gohan's hand. It was like, yeah, it was a great sparring match. Loved it. But this, okay, and this is when I'm starting to say that this isn't out of character for Gohan. No, it's out of character for Gohan. He was aggressive. Like, he's always been like quite a cheery guy, but he wouldn't shake his own dad's hand. He was like, no, I'm having none of it. I want to fight you one-on-one, toe-to-toe. It's time to see who is actually the strongest. And I was like, oh, okay. I kind of don't know if I like this version of Gohan. I always liked Gohan because he always had good motives. Like, deep down, yeah, he was strong, but his heart was always in the right place. This just seemed Piccolo-y. Like, just aggressive for the sake of being aggressive. Of course, I know the Tournament of Power is down the line, and I know Universe is at stake, but this seemed like a personal agenda rather than the grand scheme of things. I don't know. Of course, tell me what you think. But of course, Goku agrees. I mean, why would he ever turn down a fight? He never does. And so they go one-on-one. Piccolo steps back, and so does Tien, and they start hammering home at each other. Still in base form, still not messing around. Gohan is taking this like 100% with all the seriousness that he really has, and Goku's just like messing around in base form. He does pop Super Saiyan pretty quickly, and even then, Gohan is still kind of besting him. And he even says to Goku, like, can you stop it? Can you stop taking it so blasé? And you see, I think there's one frame, and if I can find it, I might even tweet it or whatever, where you see a little bit of shock from Goku, who usually is the one that's just la-di-da, and I think he thought that rubbed off on Gohan, and this is just a different take on him, and he kind of respects it. After this, he goes Super Saiyan Blue, and Gohan powers up to insane powers, like he's almost a glowing white orb. Now, I know there's talk in the community about Super Saiyan Y, or, you know, this, that, and the other. I don't know if we're going to see that, but I am curious to see if we will see some kind of Mystic and God Ki. Like, it's not an original idea, but I'm definitely interested to see if we will see this, especially if Gohan can hold his own with some of the much higher levels in the tournaments. Maybe Whis might be interested in training him, because he's doing it in base form without Super Saiyan, and he's holding his own against Super Saiyan Blue. I mean, Roshi took off his glasses, which means it's serious. Like, Roshi don't take his glasses off and no one know how. That's serious time. And even Piccolo and Tien are like, the aura that Gohan is giving off is absolutely fierce. Like the aura of a warrior. So, in regards to what Piccolo said last episode, it's kind of coming back to that, which is nice. I like it when they actually, like, continue on with an idea and don't just leave it hanging. I don't know, it's kind of nice. I feel like they do that in Dragon Ball a little too often. But so that was cool. Of course, Goku isn't going to lose. It's the Goku show, as I say, like pretty much every other week. And he goes Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken, and we get that amazing music. I think it must be like the God music, like they use for when he's tapping into God Ki. And it's so intense. Like, the whole episode has been like, who's going to win? Who's stronger? Goku's getting punched left, right, and center. And Gohan's taking a few knocks too. But really, he's holding his own. Even at, like, the God Ki, and Goku just goes full power Kaioken with the Super Saiyan Blue. And you see, like, Gohan, like, fly into him, which, again, incredibly aggressive for his character. Just a little bit weird. And then you get a big splash of light, and Gohan's wrecked. Of course. I didn't see him surpassing Goku right now. I really wonder if they're alluding to the idea that he may in the future. So, I think of all the characters that are coming towards a Tournament of Power, Gohan and Krillin are the two I'm most interested to see now. I was really excited to see, like, Tien and Master Roshi. But so far, they've done absolutely jack squat and really haven't done anything to really make me excited for those characters. So I think it's going to be Gohan and Krillin. Really excited to see what they bring to the Tournament of Power, and maybe Android 17. And that kind of just wraps up the episode. Gohan falls to the bottom, Goku catches him and is like, good job, son. And even when he goes to catch him, Gohan is ready to continue fighting and then just passes out. We do get a sneaky peek of next week's episode, and next week's episode, sneaky peek, is a bit of a hodgepodge. We see a bit of Universe 11, we see a bit of, I don't know, I think it was Universe 6. We see a narration of the fact that Gohan is going to be coming up with strats. And I kind of skimmed over the one thing that the episode ended with, which was the fact that Goku said that Gohan is going to be the Universe 7 leader. Now, I don't really mention it because I don't really know how that's going to play out in the story. But I'll end on one final question, because I've asked quite a few this week. What do you think he's going to do as the leader? How do you think he's going to bring his smarts to the table? I really don't think it's going to be that much of a thing. I think if anything, he's going to be the one calling out people during the tournament to kind of help each other. But besides that, I think it's just a nice little nod to how much he's grown as a character. Now, if you've enjoyed this video and you liked it, of course, leave a comment. Please do. I always read them, and I'm interested to know what you guys think. This is a discussion after all. And I'll catch you next time. Peace.